Bangor. From the Great Northwoods to the Rockbound Coast and streaming live in HD worldwide at foxbangor.com. More people choose Good Morning Maine.
Today on Good Morning Maine, the nursing field is full of high stress and burnout. See what the University of Maine is putting forth to help its students.
Plus, with this chilly temperature in the air, it's time to get out and see Maine's spectacular foliage.
And our top story, a major accident shuts down Route 1A and leaves one person dead. This and more local news right now.
Good morning and welcome to Good Morning Maine. I'm Emma Smith.
And I'm Joe Cortez. Thanks for joining us this morning. We are in the final hour of Good Morning Maine and my final hour here at Fox ABC Maine. That just actually hit me.
I know.
It took like a long time, and it actually just hit me coming in here.
I know. I was wondering when it would, because you've been going through the motions really well. You've been keeping up that momentum, and you're like, and Joe is going to be reporting, and you won't have to have these hours.
So that's the change. That's the change.
That's going to be what really hits you, I think, is, wow, I don't have to wake up
too early.
Yeah,
I know. It'll be
early.
normal hours. I have a problem, even on the weekends. I'll still be waking up at 5 a.m. But, I'll get, transition back to it, but it'll be good. I'll be heading home, and we'll have more on that later on. It'll be great. We still got a lot to get to in this show and talk about one guy who has been with me from the beginning. Devin Biggs started with me on the weekends, moved to the morning, and then shortly after I was able to show up on the show, he's got a first check of our forecast.
And thank you very much, Joe and Emma. Happy Tuesday. Your first weather forecast brought to you by Crosby Sports Shop. With a large supply of ammo in stock, custom Damascus knives, fishing supplies of all kinds, concealed weapons classes, and a full line of Dragonfly UV tackle, plus the latest in ultraviolet tackle. Call today. Alrighty, we do have frost and freeze alerts in effect lasting until about 8 a.m. this morning as temperatures have gotten pretty chilly again. As the growing season is just about done around here, which is why there are no alerts being issued further off toward the north, though, as we head deeper into fall and the temperatures do continue to fall. However, though, we have high pressure nearby, keeping a lot of these clouds here that we're seeing at bay, so it does mean we'll be under a partly cloudy sky as these clouds will eventually move in today, but with high pressure nearby, that'll help to keep some of the clouds from moving in and really kind of filling in the area. Otherwise, though, we have the system right here that continues to sit and spin. That'll begin to track off towards the east later on. However, just mainly just clouds for us, but maybe a slight chance for a few rain showers. Not tonight, but tomorrow night that we may have to watch out for. But otherwise, though, futurecast for today, a partly cloudy sky today. Will be partly cloudy again later on tonight with a few more clouds as we head towards tomorrow morning. Otherwise, though, the winds will not be a huge deal at all, mainly at around 5 miles per hour. And that'll be mainly out of the south at times, but switching to the north as we head towards Wednesday morning. Your hourly forecast for the rest of the morning and afternoon period showing a partly cloudy sky, temperatures reaching for the lower 60s. Your full 5-day forecast is coming up. Joe and Emma.
Devin, thank you. First up this morning, a two-car accident on Route 1A in Holden left one driver deceased. Matthew Dronzik has the details.
About an hour ago, a vehicle that was headed toward Hancock County appears to have drifted into the opposite lane. Two vehicles struck, and we now have a motor vehicle fatality here.
The other driver was not seriously injured. Holden police identified the deceased as 62-year-old Joseph Wadman of Ellsworth. Greeley says this accident is one of the worst incidents to have happened since 2017. While the scene looked ugly, Holden resident Jason Hamill says this is not an unfamiliar sight.
Happens on average at least once every 2 months on average right here within this, I would say, quarter-mile stretch. We had an accident right down the road here about 500 yards right over in front of the military surplus store about a month and a half ago. There was one right over here about 3 weeks ago that was literally like 200 yards down that way. There was one in front of the gas station like 3 months ago. So
the center lane was to improve, and I don't think it's improved too much in the area. Anyways, in Holton.
Greeley says the accident this morning only shows how important it is to be aware driving.
Regardless of whatever the actual cause of this accident was, we're still working on that. The big thing is to watch your speed and drive carefully. Don't be distracted by something inside the car or outside the car. To add to that, not being under the influence of something. Again, we don't know if that was the case here, but you got to be really careful, whether it's marijuana, alcohol, or whatever, that those are not impeding your ability to safely drive a car.
Matthew Jaroncic, ABC7 and Fox 22.
A single vehicle crash in Sedgwick left one man dead on Sunday. According to the Hancock County Sheriff's Office, a crash was reported on Snows Cove Road at 7:38 Sunday night. The initial investigation determined the vehicle was traveling south when it left the roadway, overcorrected, and hit a ditch. The vehicle struck several trees before landing on its roof. The driver, 47-year-old John Wallace of Brooksville, was pronounced dead at the scene, and the cause of the crash is currently still under investigation. But police say speed and alcohol are likely contributing factors.
Carmel Fire Department responded to a car that rolled off Route 69 yesterday afternoon. Crews had to use the jaws of life to rescue the female driver who was pinned inside the vehicle. Penobscot County Sheriff's Office Corporal Ryan Fitch says there were 2 occupants in the car at the time of the crash. The passenger was able to get out without assistance. Fitch says there were several factors that led to the rollover.
At 12:08, we were called to a motor vehicle crash. The occupants of the car called us to report the crash. It appears that they were driving at a higher rate of speed than they should be on this road, and a deer ran out in front of them, caused them to go off the road and roll a couple times and get pinned inside the vehicle.
The driver was taken to a nearby hospital with non-life-threatening injuries.
The Bangor Police Department is seeking help from the public to locate a missing person. Nicole Tufo was last heard from on September 8th. She has not answered her cell phone and has not responded to friends or family on any social media platforms, which is uncharacteristic of her. Anyone with information is asked to contact Detective Robert Hallett at 207-947-7384, extension 5755, or email him at robert.hallett@bangormaine.gov. Anonymous tips may be left at the same number under extension 3.
Penobscot County Sheriff's deputies seized a significant amount of drugs and money during a routine traffic stop on Sunday. The Sheriff's Department says at approximately 7 p.m., Deputy Cameron Barrow pulled over a vehicle operated by 34-year-old Roger Grego of Etna. Also inside the vehicle was 37-year-old Monica Clark of Bangor and 2 young children. Now, during the stop, Barrow called for assistance from a canine unit, and Bangor handler Lucas Libby responded. A search of the vehicle's exterior led to an alert by the canine. Now, the Sheriff's Office says deputies then searched the vehicle and located more than 1,300 grams of illegal narcotics, including more than 1 kilo of fentanyl. They also found suspected methamphetamine, cocaine, crack cocaine, and an undisclosed amount of cash. The estimated street value of the seized narcotics is approximately $190,000. Deputies arrested both Grego and Clark. Each are charged with aggravated and lawful trafficking of scheduled drugs and have been taken to the Penobscot County Jail. DHHS was contacted regarding the welfare of the children.
Jury selection got underway yesterday in the murder trial of Jessica Williams. The 35-year-old Stockton Springs woman is accused of killing her 3-year-old son, Maddox. The child died in June of 2021 after being taken to Waldo County General Hospital in Belfast by his mother and grandmother. During her arraignment, the state medical examiner said Maddox suffered a number of injuries, including multiple bruises to his body, internal bleeding, a fractured spine, and missing teeth. Jury selection is expected to continue today. The time is now 8:08. Coming up next on Good Morning Maine. If you're in the Orono area today, it may get a little loud. UMaine is preparing for a full-scale test of its emergency system. More details ahead.
But first, here's a quick look at that forecast. Temperatures in the low 60s, mostly sunny out there. It should warm things up just a little bit. The clouds will move in overnight. Temperatures dropping down to a low of 38 degrees, which is quite warmer than the last couple of nights. And tomorrow we're back up in the mid-60s for your Wednesday with partially sunny skies.
I'm Bruce Poliquin, and I approve this message.
I've been lobster fishing for over 25 years. These out-of-state groups that are funding Jared Golden, they're hurting us here in Maine, and Jared Golden isn't doing anything to stop them. There's the Jared Golden you see on TV, and then there's the Jared Golden that votes in Congress. He's so focused on getting elected that he's lost touch with what matters here in Maine, and we need someone to fight for us. Unless he leaves his party, there's no way Jared Golden can do anything to help Maine. I don't think Jared Golden's a bad guy, but he isn't a good congressman.
When Katahdin Cruises and Moosehead Marine Museum want to know the local forecast, they log into foxbangor.com. Take a step back in time and experience Moosehead Lake from a unique viewpoint. Book your cruise now on the Steamboat Katahdin, online or at the ticket office the day of the cruise.
Great things are always cooking at the Ground. New menu, new specials, with an amazing variety of choices for every taste. Good times, great service, and amazing food. Only at your locally owned Ground, Odland Road, Bangor.
I love the smell of napalm in the morning.
Fox Tonight.
Fixing things is my job.
Want to see some action?
A new heart-pounding season is here.
We need to get in there right away.
We're going to get the job done.
The Resident, all new tonight on Fox.
Mix it up with all new episodes of Call Me Kat.
Yeah, boy.
Thursday on Fox.
A healthcare advocacy group is working to spread the word about more affordable health care. AJ Douglas joins us this morning with the details.
I'm just one of many whose lives were saved because of the insurance that we were able to afford.
Monday, a healthcare advocacy group called Protect Our Care held a press conference in Bangor to discuss how the passage of the Inflation Reduction Act will impact Americans. The new legislation aims to counter inflation by reducing the cost of prescription drugs and health care.
There is not a person among us who does not rely upon the healthcare system, either now or at some point in time in our lives. And for many of us, this is an ongoing and literally life-sustaining challenge.
The package requires pharmaceutical companies to negotiate bulk purchasing with the federal government, which allows for decreases in prescription drug costs. It also lowers health premiums for nearly 13 million Americans by extending tax credits to purchase health insurance.
Nobody in this state should have to decide between feeding their family or heating their home or getting their prescriptions.
Laura Packard shared her story of surviving cancer thanks to having access to affordable health care. She is now advocating to get the message out about the recent changes.
I think a lot of people haven't necessarily heard about this bill yet, so they don't know that seniors are going to have their medication costs capped at $2,000 a year.
The lower cost, better care bus tour will travel around the country, spreading more awareness about the recent advancements in the healthcare system. In Bangor, AJ Douglas, ABC 7, Fox 22.
The University of Maine in Orono began testing its emergency system yesterday. The University of Maine serviced its campus siren yesterday in preparation of today's full-scale test. Students, staff, and visitors will hear the campus siren system go off between 3 p.m. and 4 p.m. Outdoor sirens will sound for several minutes during the test. Alerts will also be sent by text message, the university's homepage, as well as on social media and throughout the campus's UMaine portal.
The medical field is a high-stress environment and one that's received a lot of attention throughout the pandemic. Now, the University of Maine School of Nursing is implementing a new program called Well Nurse. It's to help increase resilience while reducing stress and burnout in the field. Jody Hersey has more.
You can't bring to your patient your full self if you're depleted inherently. And this is the same with our faculty and staff. They can't bring to our students if they're depleted.
The nursing field is one of high stress and burnout, but thanks to a new $1.5 million award from the federal government, the University of Maine School of Nursing and its instructors now has a program to help them adapt called Well Nurse, which focuses on a person's mind, body, and spirit.
We're trying to experiment with different physical activities that will be motivating for students, faculty, and staff, but also easy to fit into their schedules.
From walking and yoga to meditation, massage, and mindful eating, Well Nurse helps nursing students find a technique that works best for them. Kenny Goucher is a first-year nursing student and former member of the U.S. Navy.
I've seen so many people that do like the burnouts to where you're just working so hard, so long. You have to do 12, 13-hour shifts. You have to do them for days. When I was on deployment, those type of situations, I wish we had a program like this in those environments. So I think it will help me tremendously throughout my career.
Although this is the first semester this program has been implemented, nursing students here say they're already seeing the benefits.
I've continued to do a mindfulness yoga practice every morning, and it's been profound. I feel much calmer. I feel like I greet the day better. I don't wake up angry or worried, so it's been really helpful.
Finding time to take care of themselves so they can take care of others in the future. In Orono, I'm Jody Hersey for ABC 7 and Fox 22.
Time is now 8:15. After the break, we are creeping towards peak foliage season. A familiar face will be your guide to some of Maine's most beautiful spots.
And continuing with a fall theme, it's time to start picking those apples and finding the perfect pumpkin to carve. We'll be right back with the details.
For 50 years, Maine women have had freedom over their own bodies.
Those rights are under attack.
With the Supreme Court overturning Roe v. Wade,
Politicians like Paul LePage are trying to take us backwards.
As governor, he could ban abortions.
Take away our fundamental freedom.
Criminalizing doctors and nurses.
Paul LePage could put Maine women at risk. It's up to you to stop this assault on women's rights.
By stopping Paul LePage, we need Janet Mills. She'll protect a woman's freedom to choose.
We can go into a room and have absolutely nothing in there, nothing on the windows, no color, no character, no tone to a room.
That's, I think, where we're strongest, is being able to help someone envision what's going to go in that window.
And we leave, it's totally transformed into something that the customer wants it to be. We've often been told we make a room look better just by leaving it.
Jay Leno live in concert.
Researchers at Washington University report that 100,000 years from now, the average size of the human head will greatly increase. They say the larger the head and the larger the jaw, the more sexually attractive people will be. So I am 100,000 years ahead of my time. That's right.
Saturday, October 22nd, Collins Center for the Arts, Orono, Maine. Tickets on sale now at waterfrontconcerts.com.
Start Saturday strong with America's #1 game. Big Noon Saturday on Fox. Touchdown! It all starts at 10 Eastern with Big Noon kickoff live from Bloomington. Then Blake Corum and #4 Michigan take their electrifying show on the road for a Big Ten battle with Indiana. The best pregame, the best announcers, the biggest games. Michigan, Indiana, all part of Big Noon Saturday on Fox.
The warm days of summer may be over for the year, but that doesn't mean the adventures have to stop. Fall is a great time to enjoy Maine's beauty, and as Craig Coulson reports, the spectacular foliage makes it even better.
It was a chilly start to the day, but it turned out to be a perfect morning for an adventure. I teamed up with Maine guide Kathy Gordon for a little fishing on Pushaw Lake. We didn't have to go far to be surrounded by beauty. The countryside, alive with color, wildlife is abundant. Kathy is a retired Bangor school teacher. She now teaches people how to enjoy nature in her outdoor classroom.
I think people have maybe the wrong idea of what an adventure has to be. It doesn't have to be a big, 12-mile hike. It can be a 20-minute walk in the woods.
No matter what you choose, you're sure to see some amazing scenery over the weeks ahead. According to MaineFoliage.com, far northern Maine is reaching peak foliage conditions this week. The Katahdin region is seeing moderate conditions, and the Bangor area is still low. And you don't have to travel far to take it all in.
And it's very, I think, important emotionally, mentally, as well as physically, to get outside and get that fresh air. Mentally in Maine, it's really difficult when, we lose the sun. We've already lost 5.5 hours of sunlight.
We didn't have a lot of luck fishing today, but it felt great getting outside to enjoy the view. We saw a bald eagle, a few blue herons, and even a turtle soaking up some sun. All just a short drive from home.
It is good for the soul. Nature is the most healing thing you can do for yourself. And I tell people that all the time. They're like, you always look so happy. I'm like, well, I'm outside.
In Glenburn, this is Craig Coulson reporting for ABC 7 and Fox 22.
As the calendar turns to October, we're getting all the fall feels here in Maine. That means apple picking and finding the perfect pumpkin. Johnny Maffey visited Sweetser's Apple Barrel and Orchard in Cumberland, a one-stop shop to get your fall fix.
It's peak apple and pumpkin picking season, especially here at Sweetser's. This place has been around for over 200 years.
This barn was built in 1812. Maine wasn't even a state yet.
These standard trees, this block of McIntosh, these trees are about 100 years old. It's a beautiful crop this year. As we can see these McIntosh behind me on these big standard trees, they are just in perfect condition right now.
Sweetser says they have more than 1,000 trees with 50 apple varieties to choose from. Maine.gov shows there are around 50 fruit picking farms across the state. And what to do with all that fruit? Well, there's cider and pie too. Another clear sign of fall? Pumpkins are ripe and ready for your doorstep.
I really like the first couple of weekends of October. You know, the days still have some warmth to them. Everybody's just getting in the mood for, it's been a great summer, fall's on its way.
Fall is in the air. You can feel it.
There's a pretty heavy frost up here in this section of the orchard. You know, the frost is a great thing psychologically. It puts everybody in the mood that fall is here. You know, a lot of people think a little bit of frost adds a little bit of flavor to the apples, and, you know, that may be true, but the apples taste great whether we have frost or not.
Now, I'm no expert, but they say the chill in the air does add a crunch.
The American Red Cross of Northern and Eastern Maine has deployed 12 Mainers over the past few weeks to assist with the recovery efforts after Hurricane Ian tore through Florida and the Carolinas.
The Northern and Eastern Maine chapter of the Red Cross has deployed volunteers to deliver emergency supplies, help clean up, and most importantly, make sure people are safe. Executive Director Caroline King says she is grateful to the volunteers.
Many of them picked up, left their friends and their family, and went to help with hours or less of notice. So they are on the ground as we speak, doing the work of the Red Cross, and we are so grateful and inspired by them.
To help people affected by Hurricane Ian, visit redcross.org. The time is now 8:22.
And let's get Devin Biggs in here with a full look at our forecast. We've got some sunshine on the way, which should hopefully warm up those temperatures.
I hope so. Good morning, Devin.
Thank you very much, Joe and Emma. Your full weather forecast brought to you by Crosby Sports Shop. With a large supply of ammo in stock, custom Damascus knives, fishing supplies of all kinds, concealed weapons classes, and a full line of Dragonfly UV tackle, plus the latest in ultraviolet tackle. Call today. Alrighty, so here we are. We have some alerts in effect. Frost and freeze alerts are in effect until about 8 a.m. this morning. Of course, with the freeze warnings here and temperatures cooling off. And nothing further off towards the north. This really helps to show that the growing season is just about done across the area. Further down toward the south along the coast, we do have some alerts still in effect with small craft advisories and gale warnings in effect as an area of low pressure continues to make things rather active with some gusty winds and some high surf. But back here at home, though, overall, we're not too bad. Just a few clouds that are approaching from the south to the north this morning in a few spots, but high pressure keeping us relatively clear, which is why the clouds have been staying to our south, though, and it will mainly do that today, but we'll be under a partly cloudy sky as some of these clouds will be moving in from time to time as well. The wave heights are active in some spots. For us, though, not too bad at around 5 to maybe up to 10 feet according to some of the buoys. Further down toward the south and west, so 22 feet according to some of the buoys. Further down toward the south, though, along the coast, still seeing some active wave heights at around 6 to maybe 11 feet according to some of those buoys. But back here at home, though, our average high is 63 degrees. We'll reach for the lower to middle 60s today and tomorrow, with the lower 70s Thursday, falling back into the upper 60s Friday. The nice cool down just in time for the weekend in the lower to middle 50s, then back in the upper 50s again as we head towards your Monday. Your latest fall foliage report, no new changes at this point, though. Millinocket still at around that 50 to 75% coverage. Everyone else, though, for Bangor and Ellsworth, seen at 25 to 45% coverage. And Greenville at this point at that 50 to 75% coverage as well. We typically peak at around early to mid-October, though, and for most of us, it's mid-October. So give it a few more weeks. These fall colors will really continue to fill on in. But futurecast for today, a partly cloudy sky for today if you're looking for reasons to get outside. Today will be a good day to do so. Tonight won't be too bad either under a partly cloudy sky. The rain tries to get close, and maybe some areas along the coastline may notice a little bit of rain as we head towards Wednesday night and parts of Thursday morning. Then that will finally begin to get out of here with a lot of sunshine on the way for the day on Thursday. So your forecast for today, lower 60s, partly cloudy. The east breeze getting up to about 5 miles per hour. Later on tonight, upper 30s, becoming partly cloudy with the wind overall looking nice and calm. For tomorrow, middle 60s, also partly cloudy. The northeast breeze, getting up to about 5 miles per hour. Alrighty, here's a look at your extended forecast brought to you by Crosby Sports Shop. Will be partly cloudy again on Wednesday before we become mostly sunny on Thursday, but slight chances of rain movement on Friday and Saturday. Temperatures overall in the upper 60s on Friday, but cooling off into the lower 50s on Saturday.
$7.8 million. That's how much I made home sellers in the past 2 years. Planning on selling? I'm Holly Taylor. Come to the one who gets it done. HollyTaylor.Realtor.
Seniors know a scam when they see one, like Bruce Poliquin.
My heart is breaking for our seniors in Maine.
He says he'll help Maine seniors. But the last time Poliquin was in Congress, he voted to cut $500 billion from Medicare. And he supports raising the retirement age for Social Security. Maine seniors can trust Jared Golden. Jared stood up to both parties to protect Social Security and Medicare.
I'm Jared Golden, and I approve this message because Maine seniors earned their retirement.
Behind every keepsake, there's a memory. Behind every photo, there's a story. Behind Bouchard Cleaning and Restoration, there's people giving back by bringing back what was thought to be lost. The details, the time, and the expertise, all packaged up behind a name that Mainers have trusted for over 35 years. Statewide commercial and residential services. Bouchard Cleaning and Restoration. You keep the memories. We'll handle the rest.
Let's go.
It's an adventure.
Exactly.
Help is on the way.
We're not going to let anything happen to our family. I'm worried.
Fixing things is my job.
Protect the legacy, no matter what happens.
That was so good. Let's get this party started. How can we be this fast?
Yay!
Welcome to paradise.
It all happens this fall on Fox.
When selling your home, knowing your options could make you tens of thousands of dollars. That's what I do for my clients. I'm Holly Taylor. Come to the one who gets it done. HollyTaylor.Realtor.
Welcome back in. Thank you for staying with us. We will start with an update on the University of Maine's athletic director search. Monday, the university announced the search committee for their next permanent AD. Maine named 15 members to the committee responsible for finding Ken Ralph's replacement, who officially parted ways with the University of Maine earlier in last month. The committee is chaired by the Executive Vice President for Academic Affairs, John Volan, and the members range from coaches like Amy Vachon, Ben Barr, Josette Babineau, as well as student athletes, Hall of Famers, and athletic staff. Finalists for the job are expected to visit campus by mid-November, and the decision on the next athletic director is anticipated in early December, per the release from the university. So some exciting stuff going on at Maine, new facilities, searching for a new director. Let's move on to some football and stay there. The Black Bears had their CAA opener on Saturday, dropping the game 45-20 to Villanova. The loss moves Maine to 0-4 on the season, but really the hardest part of their schedule is behind them. 2 FBS opponents, a ranked Villanova team. They came in as the 13th best team in the FCS coaches poll Monday morning. Now Maine has the newest member of the CAA ahead of them on Saturday, heading down to Hampton, who's ranked 9th in the CAA, just 2 spots above Maine. And on Monday morning, head coach Jordan Stevens saying the team's best days are ahead.
Really not looking back at the schedule, or, using that as any type of crutch, but certainly, we have a lot ahead of us, and we have a lot, we have everything to look forward to here, starting with this week, with going down to Hampton and a great opponent and an opportunity for us to get back on the field. And I know all the players, coaches, everyone's, excited to prepare and get back out on the field. But
excited to see what they do Saturday there. Let's stay local now, and we're going to move to the high school scene. It has been a strong start to the season for John Baptist boys soccer. They look to keep it going Monday against Caribou. The Vikings coming all the way down south to Bangor, taking on the Crusaders. Early on, it's a good chance for John Baptist here in the first half off of the throw-in from Sam Bay. Ellis Collenberg gets to the net, but a good defensive play from Connor Dodd
keeps the game scoreless. A little bit later, Kyle Sidaway here is going to find Oscar Martinez. He puts on some fancy footwork and then fires this one off with the left foot. 1-0 John Babs. That is impressive right there. Later on, this time it's Hunter Kluge. He's using his left foot as well from downtown, and he's going to get this one just past the diving hands of Logan White. 2-0 Crusaders. Still in the first now. Time winding down. It's John Pangburn this time on a nice pass from Sidaway. He puts this one home. Crusaders go on to win 7-0 is the final. Moving indoors now to volleyball. Ellsworth coming over to Hampden Academy for the matchup with the Broncos. Broncos up 2-0, but Eagles showing some fight here in the third. That Shantina Griffith dropping in an ace right there. Eagles would fight to tie the set and take a lead. Broncos, though, they had it going all night long. Emma Schutt here with the service ace, looking for it again, but Griffith's spike is going to find the back corner right here, just getting in. The Broncos, just too much for the Eagles, who wouldn't go away. Marnie Tracy is going to drop in an ace here. Hampden Academy is going to pick up their third straight 3-0 sweep. Moving on now and down to Foxborough with the Patriots losing on Sunday to the Green Bay Packers in Green Bay, but taking them to the final seconds of overtime. They did it with their third quarterback, too, Bailey Zappi. He became the first rookie quarterback to throw a touchdown this season. Who would have thought that at the beginning of the year, right? Zappi was pretty impressive by the eye test and the numbers as well. 10 for 15 with 99 yards and the aforementioned score. Regardless, New England falls to a 1-3 start for the second straight season. But it's hard not to get a little excited watching Zappi play and then watching them really compete and take Rodgers and the Packers down to the wire at Lambeau.
It was a dream come true to play an NFL game. It's obviously not the outcome we wanted at all. I just want to first give credit to all my teammates. They kept me calm. They kept me, getting the nerves out of me. They kept me in my space and cool, calm, and collected.
That's what happened, and he stepped in. He was well prepared, and I thought generally handled himself well. Certainly things he can improve on. We'll work on, but thought he did a solid job.
Solid job. He is the first quarterback to throw a touchdown in his debut at Lambeau since Lambeau was built. Pretty impressive. That's all the time we have for sports. We'll be right back.
People today, they could spend half their lives over 50, but it's going to take some planning.
What can you do for me?
Make sure your money lives as long as you do. The younger you are, the more you need AARP. Join today.
When Rowell's Garage in Dover Foxcroft wants to know the local forecast, they log on to foxbangor.com. If the weather is bad, see Rowell's Garage for a late model SUV or truck. When the weather is warm and sunny, they will find you a convertible, and they also service what they sell. Keep your vehicle looking new with Rowell's Car Wash.
Before and bath fitter. Before and bath fitter. If you have a before bath, now's the time to call Bath Fitter to get a beautiful after. With our unique tub-over-tub process, there's no mess or stress. Spend smart on a beautiful new bath done right, backed by a lifetime warranty. Join over 2 million happy customers who know it just fits. Bath Fitter. Visit bathfitter.com to book your free consultation.
You're watching Fox 22, Bangor.
Happy Tuesday, Maine. It's October 4th of 2022. Yom Kippur begins at sundown tonight.
Fox's popular Beverly Hills and 90210 premiered 32 years ago today, and comic strip character Dick Tracy is 91.
Actress Susan Sarandon is 76 years old today. Today for national holidays, we have Taco Day, Vodka Day, and 10-4 Day. Fitting.
Susan Sarandon looks great.
I know. Really, we were just talking about going through the different movies and everything like that. And come to find out, she's in Rick and Morty. I had no idea, but it could have been like a guest appearance. But I was looking it up, and Rick and Morty popped up, and I was like, really?
The coolest guest appearance.
Oh, absolutely.
Thelma and Louise is one of my favorite movies of all time. So
there you go. So make sure you get ready, because it's going to be a good day. You can get outside, but you can catch up on your movies. Grab some tacos, maybe. Enjoy. I got one taco kit left, and I'm ready to roll.
Taco Tuesday and movie night sounds like the best way to end a Tuesday.
I know, and it's going to get a little chilly again tonight. Back down to the low 30s, maybe mid 30s if we're lucky. But let's turn it over to Devin Biggs. He's another check of that forecast.
Good morning, Devin.
And thank you very much, Joe and Emma. Happy Tuesday. Your first weather forecast brought to you by Crosby Sports Shop. With a large supply of ammo in stock, custom Damascus knives, fishing supplies of all kinds, concealed weapons classes, and a full line of Dragonfly UV tackle, plus the latest in ultraviolet tackle. Call today. Alrighty, we do have frost and freeze alerts in effect lasting till about 8 a.m. this morning as temperatures have gotten pretty chilly again. As the growing season is just about done around here, which is why there are no alerts being issued further off toward the north, though, as we head deeper into fall and the temperatures do continue to fall. However, though, we have high pressure nearby, keeping a lot of these clouds here that we're seeing at bay, so it does mean we'll be under a partly cloudy sky as these clouds will eventually move in today, but with high pressure nearby, that'll help to keep some of the clouds from moving in and really kind of filling in the area. Otherwise, though, we have the system right here that continues to sit and spin. That'll begin to track off towards the east later on. However, just mainly just clouds for us, but maybe a slight chance for a few rain showers. Not tonight, but tomorrow night that we may have to watch out for. But otherwise, though, future cast for today, a partly cloudy sky today. Will be partly cloudy again later on tonight with a few more clouds as we head towards tomorrow morning. Otherwise, though, the winds will not be a huge deal at all, mainly at around 5 miles per hour. And that'll be mainly out of the south at times, but switching to the north as we head towards Wednesday morning. Your hourly forecast for the rest of the morning and afternoon period showing a partly cloudy sky, temperatures reaching for the lower 60s. Your full 5-day forecast is coming up. Joe and Emma.
Thank you, Devin.
Dogs and cats once housed in Florida animal shelters are airlifted to New Jersey. Now, about 90 animals in need of loving homes were shipped to New Jersey on Sunday, where they will then be brought to shelters across the Northeast and put up for adoption.
The furry friends were rescued from facilities in Naples and Fort Myers. Moving these pets to northern shelters will open up spots for an expected influx of homeless or surrendered pets in the aftermath of Hurricane Ian. Puppy love is real, but is it enough to break a world record? Over 100 dogs and their owners headed to a minor league baseball field in Illinois Sunday to try and break the Guinness World Record for the largest dog wedding.
Sadly, their love fell a little bit short. Only 66 dog couples tied the knot, well below the 178 couples who said I do in the 2007 world record. The Kane County Cougars Baseball Foundation hosted the doggy wedding event, which also doubled as a fundraiser for military veterans and animal rescue groups.
I wonder if the standards are same for the officiant.
That's true. That's true. I hope he got paid.
And like, do you have to go through the process? Yes, I would. Hey, I'll do it for free.
Yeah, see, she's the girl you got to contact. Well, a massive fire burns through 4 triple-decker buildings in Dorchester, Massachusetts, including the former home of actor Mark Wahlberg. The Boston Fire Department says the fire started at a home on Peveril Street Sunday, but strong winds spread the fire to 3 other buildings, including homes on Cushing Ave.
Wahlberg grew up in one of the homes on Peveril Street. The back of his former home is now scorched by flames. The Boston Fire Department says more than a dozen people were displaced from this fire. The American Red Cross is helping them find another place to stay. The fire is under investigation and is estimated to have caused approximately $2 million in damages. And for the latest on what's happening in Hollywood,
here's ABC's Jason Nathanson.
Will Smith, once again an award season contender less than a year after Slapgate. The first trailer's out for his new film, Emancipation. Apple TV Plus setting a December release date for the slavery drama after reports earlier this year Apple might delay the release in the wake of Smith slapping Chris Rock at the Oscars.
Remember when you tipped me $2? That wasn't enough, was it?
Kate Hudson's new role is a lot different from the characters we're used to seeing her playing. In Mona Lisa and the Blood Moon, she stars as a New Orleans stripper and hustler, looking to make a buck any way she can. And she tells me she loved it.
I like to be uninhibited, I like playing characters that could be intrinsically unlikable and make them fun to watch and likable in a way. That's fun and challenging for me.
Mona Lisa and the Blood Moon is out now in select theaters and for streaming rental. A brand new #1 song on the Billboard Hot 100 Singles chart, Steve Lacy's Bad Habit marks the Compton, California singer's first #1, and it's been a long, slow climb to the top. Bad Habit first hit the chart back in July. And actress Dakota Johnson with a birthday today, she's 33, while Ray Donovan's Liev Schreiber is 55. And that's what's happening in Hollywood.
And sticking with Will Smith, that has to be the slap heard around the world, right?
Yes.
I mean, that's my guess. I mean, that's all we hear about nowadays.
I know. He hasn't really recovered from that.
No, maybe a couple more movies. If he can get back up to the I Am Legends, The Pursuit of Happiness, all those good ones. Then
Gen Z will never let him forget it.
Never let him forget it. Right?
Yeah. Well, still to come here on the second half of our show, there are 3 limited edition seasonal flavors that will be in stores while supplies last, all from one of Maine's favorite ice cream shops.
Plus, a touching moment for a well-known deputy chief. After 35 years, he is hanging up his hat. We'll hear the final call and more local news as Good Morning Maine continues.
The time is now, New England. Medicare annual enrollment is October 15th through December 7th. Hey, I know the glory of a final second win, but don't leave your health care decision up to a Hail Mary. And now it's more important than ever to have a team you can count on. United Healthcare offered some of the first Medicare Advantage plans in New England and is the only company with plans in all 6 states. Now, with more than 250,000 members, they're the leader. But it's not all about being the biggest. Trust me, I know. Sure, all their plans give you access to top doctors and hospitals throughout New England, as well as the nation's largest network of Medicare providers with no referrals. They're also affordable with $0 premium plans in every state, free primary care visits, eye and hearing exams, and no copays for labs, virtual visits, mammograms, and colonoscopies. There's coverage for glasses and hearing aids, and many plans have comprehensive dental benefits. Beyond the benefits, United Healthcare cares. Whether it's diabetes, heart disease, a disability, a knee replacement, United Healthcare has personal navigators, a single point of contact to help you get healthy so you can live your best life. United Healthcare is also the only plan to offer Renew Active with free gym memberships, thousands of online workouts, brain exercises, recipes, healthy lifestyle tips, and rewards for staying active. There are credits for over-the-counter items like vitamins and aspirins and 0 copays on hundreds of prescription drugs. You may even get rewards for routine care like annual checkups and certain preventative screenings, all backed by one of the most trusted companies in the country and the Medicare Advantage leader in New England, United Healthcare. Choose and stick with the plan that is in it for the long game. Find out which United Healthcare Medicare Advantage plan is right for you. Call 1-800-236-3146 or visit uhcnewengland.com.
Hey, I'm Jerry O'Connell. Join me this fall right here on Fox 22 at 10 a.m. for Pictionary.
Hancock County Chief Deputy Patrick Kane is calling it a career after 35 years. On Saturday, Chief Deputy Patrick Kane took his final call as he heads towards retirement. It was an especially touching moment as his daughter was a part of that final message.
You will be remembered as a leader at the Sheriff's Office and a friend to many, both here and in the community. Chief Deputy Kane, we wish you well in your new career and hope that you have time to do the things that unfortunately you have not been able to do because of your commitment at the Sheriff's Office. We wish you the best of health and hope that you are not a stranger here. I love you, Dad. We have you code 5 for the last time.
Chief Deputy Kane started as a patrol officer and moved up to a lieutenant patrol supervisor before taking over the deputy as chief deputy for the last 8 years. He has also played a vital role in keeping the local media affiliates informed. The town of Herman has welcomed a new fire chief. Cody Sullivan, who has been serving as the assistant fire chief in Herman, has now taken the helm as the department's new chief.
He takes over for Frank Roma, who retired last month after serving in the position for 6 years. Sullivan says former Chief Roma prepared him well for his new position.
I enjoy working with members of the department and working with members of the community that we serve. So it's really all about people. It's not about the job. It's the interactions you have with folks on a day-to-day basis and see the positive outcomes that you can have in people's lives.
Sullivan has been serving with the Herman Fire Department for almost 18 years. Maine ice cream maker Giffords is giving us even more of a reason to be excited about the fall season. The company is rolling out 3 limited edition seasonal flavors. The 3 flavors include pumpkin, apple pie churro, that sounds delicious, and white peppermint chocolate chip. They'll be on store shelves in October and available while supplies last.
That was my first job, scooping ice cream at Giffords.
Would you look at that?
Yeah. For a little more mouthwatering detail, a pumpkin is a creamy, smooth combo of real pumpkin and spices. Apple pie churro, which sounds like it could be my favorite, contains rich churro ice cream with swirls of caramel, bits of apple, and crispy churro sticks. And finally, white peppermint chocolate chip is a mix of cool peppermint ice cream loaded with chocolate chips and peppermint crunch. In addition to being in certain grocery stores, Giffords will also be shipping their ice cream in pint-sized packaging for the very first time.
We better do some scavenging. We got to find out where those
So
are.
how far are they shipping, though? Can this be all the Christmas presents? I sent them out all early.
Oh,
Just
that's
Giffords
a
ice cream
great
for you.
idea.
Giffords ice cream for you.
Just got to put them in the freezer for a couple months, then you'll be good.
Right.
Don't leave them outside, please.
Yeah, that could work. After the break, we have your upbeat stories this Tuesday morning.
But first, let's get another look at that forecast. A high of 62 degrees, mostly sunny skies today. A beautiful Tuesday in store. Tonight, we do get a few clouds moving in the area. Temperatures dropping below 40 degrees. And tomorrow, we are back up in the mid-60s with more sunshine and a little bit of cloud coverage for your Wednesday.
You can always tell where Bruce Poliquin's been, hanging around Washington politicians and the special interests that fund their campaigns, like big oil and drug and insurance companies. Poliquin leaves a bit of Washington everywhere because he's covered in it, supporting special tax breaks for big corporations and more government spending. No matter where you see Bruce Poliquin, you know he's always heading back to the swamp. House Majority PAC is responsible for the content of this ad.
Jay Leno live in concert.
Researchers at Washington University report that 100,000 years from now, the average size of the human head will greatly increase. They say the larger the head and the larger the jaw, the more sexually attractive people will be. So I am 100,000 years ahead of my time. That's right.
Saturday, October 22nd, Collins Center for the Arts, Orono, Maine. Tickets on sale now at waterfrontconcerts.com.
Mom and Dad, you must be so proud.
We're proud of all of our children.
She has to say that.
Oh, you can't run away from me forever.
Just a heads up, this is my good side.
Yeah.
Bazinga, bazinga, bazinga.
Ah! Are you trying to kill me?
Weekdays at 6 on Fox 22.
It's your car, it's your SUV, it's your truck. Experience the pre-owned difference with a huge selection of over 500 used vehicles at Quirk Motor City Used Vehicle Center, 377 Hogan Road, Bangor. It's your car. Find it at Quirk Motor City.
A massive rent relief program is effectively put on pause, creating a lot of worry for a lot of families and renewing calls for a long-term solution.
Late last week, Maine Housing said it would no longer be taking in new applicants for the program, which has helped tens of thousands of Mainers.
Mal Meyer looks at one option for the long run.
Jeffrey Smith lives on a fixed income. His budget is tight.
So I'd only have $41 left over for each month.
But now he's able to buy the things he needs because of emergency rental assistance.
It took me a couple months, but they were actually able to help me with a couple of months' rent.
Faced with incredible demand and only so much funding, Maine Housing changed parts of the program this summer.
We kind of, tried to slow down the program to stretch it out longer. We pumped the brakes, if you will. That didn't work.
Maine is joining other states that have already paused or ended similar programs. New applications are no longer being accepted to get through the 11,000 that still need to be processed.
I am terrified that we are going to see the number of evictions skyrocket for non-payment of rent.
State Representative Victoria Morales introduced a bill last legislative session that would have effectively added to the Section 8 program.
This policy was designed based on Massachusetts policy, where they are able to provide more
vouchers to folks who are in need, and the federal government doesn't have enough for them.
Her bill gained support from housing groups and passed through the legislature, but didn't get the funding it needed. While not seeking re-election, she's hoping that similar legislation will come up again as a housing crisis continues.
This is an issue that's impacting every part of Maine.
If you still need help paying your rent, Maine Housing recommends reaching out to your local community action agency.
And with Tuesday's business news, here's Leo Jonathan.
The Dow was up 2.7% Monday, the S&P up 2.6%, and the Nasdaq up 2.3%. Markets closed at their lowest levels of the year on Friday. The United Nations now weighing in on the U.S. economy, asserting the Federal Reserve and other central banks are pushing the global economy into a recession if they keep raising rates. The Fed raised rates 0.75% in September, the fifth hike in a row. Edmunds says car sales from July through September were down nearly 1%. The only standout is GM, which posted gains throughout the summer. And airlines don't have enough jets. Boeing and Airbus are months behind delivery of new jets to U.S. carriers. Both plane makers say supply chain problems continue. I'm Leo Jonathan with Tuesday's Business on ABC 7.
And now here's meteorologist Devin Biggs with our full weather forecast.
Good morning, Devin.
Thank you very much, Joe and Emma. Your full weather forecast brought to you by Crosby Sports Shop. With a large supply of ammo in stock, custom Damascus knives, fishing supplies of all kinds, concealed weapons classes, and a full line of Dragonfly UV tackle, plus the latest in ultraviolet tackle. Call today. Alrighty, so here we are. Some alerts in effect. Frost and freeze alerts are in effect until about 8 a.m. this morning. Of course, with the freeze warnings here and temperatures cooling off. And nothing further off towards the north. This really helps to show that the growing season is just about done across the area. Further down toward the south along the coast, we do have some alerts still in effect with small craft advisories and gale warnings in effect as an area of low pressure continues to make things rather active with some gusty winds and some high surf. But back here at home, no, overall, we're not too bad. Just a few clouds that are approaching from the south to the north this morning in a few spots, but high pressure keeping us relatively clear, which is why the clouds have been staying to our south, though, and it will mainly do that today, but we'll be under a partly cloudy sky as some of these clouds will be moving in from time to time as well. The wave heights are active in some spots. For us, though, not too bad at around 5 to maybe up to 10 feet according to some of the buoys. Further down toward the south and west, so 22 feet according to some of the buoys. Farther down toward the south, though, along the coast, still seeing some active wave heights at around 6 to maybe 11 feet according to some of those buoys. But back here at home, though, our average high is 63 degrees. We'll reach for the lower to middle 60s today and tomorrow, with the lower 70s Thursday, falling back into the upper 60s Friday. The nice cool down just in time for the weekend in the lower to middle 50s. Then back in the upper 50s again as we head towards your Monday. Your latest fall foliage report, no new changes at this point, though. Millinocket still at around that 50 to 75% coverage. Everyone else, though, for Bangor and Ellsworth, seeing at 25 to 45% coverage. And Greenville at this point at that 50 to 75% coverage as well. We typically peak at around early to mid-October, though, and for most of us, it's mid-October, so give it a few more weeks. These fall colors will really continue to fill on in. But futurecast for today, a partly cloudy sky for today. If you're looking for reasons to get outside, today will be a good day to do so. Tonight won't be too bad either under a partly cloudy sky. The rain tries to get close, and maybe some areas along the coastline may notice a little bit of rain as we head towards Wednesday night and parts of Thursday morning. Then that will finally begin to get out of here with a lot of sunshine on the way for the day on Thursday. So your forecast for today, lower 60s, partly cloudy. The east breeze getting up to about 5 miles per hour. Later on tonight, upper 30s, becoming partly cloudy with the wind overall looking nice and calm. For tomorrow, middle 60s, also partly cloudy. The northeast breeze, getting up to about 5 miles per hour. Alrighty, here's a look at your extended forecast brought to you by Crosby Sports Shop. We'll be partly cloudy again on Wednesday before we become mostly sunny on Thursday, but slight chances of rain movement on Friday and Saturday. Temperatures overall in the upper 60s on Friday, but cooling off into the lower 50s on Saturday.
I'm Bruce Poliquin, and I approve this message.
I've been lobster fishing for over 25 years. These out-of-state groups that are funding Jared Golden, they're hurting us here in Maine, and Jared Golden isn't doing anything to stop them. There's the Jared Golden you see on TV, and then there's the Jared Golden that votes in Congress. He's so focused on getting elected that he's lost touch with what matters here in Maine, and we need someone to fight for us. Unless he leaves his party, there's no way Jared Golden can do anything to help Maine. I don't think Jared Golden's a bad guy. but he isn't a good congressman.
In Maine, it's always buying season. And at Thornton Brothers in Lincoln, we carry new Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Rams for your buying season. Here at Thornton Brothers, we'll help you find the right vehicle specifically for you to suit your lifestyle. As they say, the proof is in the performance. So come on over and test drive a real vehicle from a real dealership, or place your order with us and see why it really is buying season here in Maine. Thornton Brothers, Main Street, Lincoln.
Out with the old and in with the new. Check out Pat's Pizza Specials. Tuesdays, $5 spaghetti and meatballs. Tuesday all day breadstick special. Wednesday, large one-topping pizzas, $8. Wednesday, small steak and cheese with French fries, $6.25. Friday, fish with French fries, $7.50. Saturday, small one-headed pizza, fountain soda, $7.25. And you can still save some dough. Bring the family to the all-new Pat's Pizza, 662 Main Road North, Hamden.
You in the mood for some more news? Welcome back. Magic time. Oh my God. We want to see it. Did you order a Droober?
Wow.
We make new show for you, so take it with you.
The Drew Barrymore Show, Tuesday at 11 on Fox 22.
Caught on video, a bear just enjoying life and creating a bit of a mess for a homeowner in California. Dr. Alon Antebi says the bear has been in the Chatsworth neighborhood since Labor Day. He says the bear was caught on video cooling off in the pool and even hopping into the jacuzzi.
The bear is also accused of raiding the outdoor kitchen and spilling beer from the fridge. I'm all for raiding the kitchen, but the beer, come on. Now, they said their main concern is that the bear appears to be getting more aggressive. The doctor says animal control told him that since he lives in the bear's natural habitat, there's not much that they can do unless the bear becomes more aggressive.
Hey, you know, plenty of people, if they've never experienced beer in a jacuzzi at the same time, they may get aggressive.
Yeah, I mean, it's, just, jacuzzi, beer.
You know, it's just unpredictable how you're going to react with those two things when they combine.
Oh, I know. And, I'm looking to get into a jacuzzi. Maybe if I can find one.
It's the perfect weather. It's the perfect weather. I mean, yeah, you can celebrate now.
I know. I can celebrate. Actually, yeah, so this is my final show. It's all finished up from here. I've had a great time up here in Maine. It's kind of difficult. I took about 4 different times. I wrote up a ton of stuff, and I was going to say these things. And every time I crumpled it up and threw it away, I was like, you know what, dude, just say how you feel and just, be able to express. I'm so grateful to have the opportunity to be up here in Maine. It's a great state. I'm a young kid from Massachusetts that has a chance to call this a second home. And I know I'm not a true Mainer. Don't worry. I've learned that.
You like being outdoors.
I
People
do.
accept you with open arms if you're like that.
Exactly. And the community around here has been so great. I've covered so many things up here. I've had great people to just teach me along the way. A couple that I have to point out. Susan Farley, thank you for giving me the opportunity up here. TJ Tremble really taught me a lot of great things throughout my career here, and I give him a lot of credit. And Leo Johnson, our morning producer, he's helped me throughout this entire adventure I've had. I've had some great people working here. I've had some great times, some great memories, but I wish I could just name off a whole list because I started writing down all the people, and it was just, there's too many. I could just say thank you to all for accepting me here and allowing me to join you in your living room every morning, trying to, give you the positive side and try to be myself. And it's really been a great time up here. The one story I want to share is I was working on the weekends, and I had in my IFB, they said, Joe, you got 2 minutes light. And I'm like, 2 minutes light? We're in the last block. And you're working a show alone, and I have no idea what to do. And out of nowhere, I looked down, I had a little pin. It's a starfish. And when I was in 8th grade, I was given this starfish. And there's an old saying behind it. The story is a young boy is walking up and down the ocean, and the tide's going out. And he's picking up the starfish, and he's throwing them out. Well, an older gentleman comes up to him and says, son, what are you doing? And he said, I'm saving the starfish. And he's throwing them back because the tide's going out. And the old man says to the young boy, he says, there's hundreds of thousands of miles of ocean, and how are you supposed to save every starfish? The young boy paused, he picked up another one, he threw it in the ocean, and he said, well, I made a difference for that one. And that's something I've always kind of lived by, where it's like those small little acts of kindness can have the biggest impacts. And that's just something I've always lived by. And it's one story that got me out of a newscast when I was 2 minutes late and I needed to share a story. And it really has been a pleasure. Everything's been great here. I've loved every second. And once again, I want to thank Susan Farley and Mike.